All right, let's talk about something that can honestly feel a little scary: advanced writing. You hear that phrase and your mind just goes blank, right? It sounds so complicated. But what if I told you it's not some secret code? It's really just a set of skills you can learn. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to demystify it together. So let's just get right to the heart of it. This question: what does college level or professional level writing really mean? You've seen it on a syllabus, I'm sure. You've seen it in a job description, and it can cause a ton of stress, making you wonder, is my stuff good enough? Well, the good news is, it's not some big mystery you have to guess at. There are actual, concrete answers. And here's the big reveal. At its core, advanced writing is all about being strategic. It's way more than just good grammar. It's about building a thoughtful, evidence-based piece of writing for a very specific audience. And, maybe the most important part? It's just as much about the process, the journey of research, drafting, and thinking, as it is about that final, polished paper. To really wrap our heads around this, we're going to break it all down into 6 core skills. Seriously, think of this as the blueprint. If you can get a handle on these 6 things, you're not just turning in an assignment anymore. You're actually communicating with real impact. Okay, first step: audience and purpose. This is without a doubt the foundation of everything. Advanced writing is never, ever created in a vacuum for some random, faceless reader. You are always, always writing to someone, and you're doing it for a specific reason. So what does that actually look like? Well, it means that every single choice you make is deliberate. The tone you use, the evidence you pick, the way you structure the whole thing, it's all a strategy. Are you trying to convince a skeptical boss? Are you trying to inform a new colleague? Or maybe you're analyzing a complex idea for your professor. The answer to that question changes absolutely everything about how you write. Skill number 2. And honestly, this one's a game changer: revision and process. Let's just bust the biggest myth about writing right now. Great writing does not just pour out of your brain perfectly on the first try. No way. That polished essay you're reading, it's just the tip of the iceberg. So what's all the stuff hiding under the surface? That's where the magic really happens. We're talking multiple drafts. We're talking about actually using the feedback you get from other people. And it means taking a moment to reflect on your own work. Your main idea is supposed to change and get better as you find new research. It's a discovery process, not a one-and-done performance. All right, our third skill is all about understanding discipline conventions. The short version? Every field has its own rules of the game. The way you write a biology paper is fundamentally different from how you'd write a business plan or a history essay. They're just different worlds. And just look at how different they are. A lab report in a STEM field, it's all about clear methods, data, being super concise, and using a citation style like APA. But a literary analysis, that's all about your interpretation, using quotes from the text as evidence, and engaging with big ideas, probably using MLA. Learning these local customs is how you show you belong in that field. Okay, skill number 4, research and evidence. So if those first few skills were about how you write, this one is all about what you're writing with. Because let's be real, your arguments are only as strong as the proof you've got to back them up. And listen, this goes way beyond just finding a few quotes online. It's a whole process. You have to find credible sources, first of all. Then you have to figure out if they're actually reliable and relevant. And here's the part people miss. You have to synthesize them. That means you're not just listing what other people said, you're weaving their ideas into your own unique argument. And of course, you've got to document it all correctly. That's just non-negotiable. Now, all that amazing evidence you found needs a solid framework to hold it all together. And that brings us to skill number 5, argument and structure. This is the logical backbone of your entire piece of writing. I like to think of it like this. You're the tour guide for your reader's brain. Your clear thesis statement? That's the destination you're promising to take them to. Your organization is the map. Each paragraph is an interesting stop on the tour, and your transitions are the road signs telling them, okay, now we're going here. Without that kind of control, even the most brilliant ideas can feel like a confusing mess. And finally, our 6th and final core skill, clarity and style. This is all that sentence-level polish. It's about choosing precisely the right words, making your sentences flow nicely, and, of course, making sure your writing is clean and free of errors. This is that final touch that really signals professionalism and care. So now that we have those 6 skills down, let's pull back the curtain a little bit. How is all this stuff actually graded or evaluated? Whether it's a grade from a professor or feedback from your boss, I promise it isn't random. There's a logic behind it. So what's the big secret to getting a good grade? Well, it's not a secret at all. It's the rubric. And you gotta stop thinking of the rubric as some kind of trap. It's not. It's a roadmap. It's your instructor literally handing you a cheat sheet and saying, "Here, this is exactly what I'm looking for." It makes the whole thing transparent. Just take a look. For argument, an A paper has a claim that's clear and nuanced. A C paper, the claim is probably unclear or missing. For evidence, an A paper weaves in strong sources beautifully, while C paper might have weak sources or just kind of plops them in there. You see how this works? The rubric gives you a precise definition of what excellent actually means for every single skill we just talked about. And here's something really important to get. An instructor is often looking at 2 things. There's the product, which is your final paper, but there's also the process, how you got there. Your drafts, your participation in peer review, even writing a little memo explaining what you changed, all that stuff shows your thinking. It proves you're being strategic, and that can absolutely be part of the grade. Okay, that was a lot of theory. So how do we actually do all this? Let's get super practical. This is your playbook for turning all these ideas into action on your very next project. All right, here's your checklist. Step 1, start early. You just can't rush good thinking and good research. 2, treat feedback like it's data, not a personal attack. Use it to set real goals for your next draft. 3, actually use the rubric. Print it out and check your own paper against the A column. 4, from the very first sentence, write for that real reader we talked about. 5, please document your sources as you find them. You will save yourself a massive headache later. And 6, if your instructor asks for it, write a killer revision memo. It shows you know why you made the changes you did. And all of this brings us to what might be the most important point of all. This is about so much more than getting a good grade. The entire process, thinking about an audience, building an argument with evidence, revising based on feedback, these are the exact skills that employers are desperate for. This isn't just about jumping through academic hoops. You're literally training for the real world. So we'll end on this thought. Your ability to write clearly, to write persuasively, to write strategically, it's one of the most powerful professional tools you will ever possess, no matter what career you go into. It's how you make a case, how you share your ideas, and how you make things happen. So the only question left is, how are you going to use it? Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.